welcome back. It's Blake again with Northwinds Wilderness School. I want to talk to you today about this idea of owning your own negativity. We live in a world where there's a lot of negativity being thrown around, and people always say, you know, that guy's negative, or she's negative, or that side is negative, or those people are negative. But what I've found is that the negativity is coming from everywhere, from every person. You know, I'm guilty of it myself. I get really negative sometimes when I'm at work or when I'm driving, and I'll start to say things that I know aren't true, and that I know don't help anything, and that I know could potentially hurt people. But I say them out of anger or out of frustration. I say things that I know are going to hurt people. I think it makes me feel better. And, you know, this negativity can come on in a lot of ways. You know, you're driving down the road and the person in front of you is going slower than you wish they were. Or someone is merging onto the highway and you have to hit your brakes to let them go in front of you. Or you're at work and you are working a double and your patient or your customer, whoever it is being rude to you. And these ideas start to breed negativity. And I think that the worst thing we can do in this situation is feed into that. Because when you start feeding negativity, it grows. You start saying things that are negative, your friend starts saying things that are negative, then his friend starts saying things that are negative, and the next thing you know, you've got a whole community of people who are angry, and they don't even really know why. There's a lot of mental anguish that sort of goes along with negativity, and I'm going to say one of the biggest causes of unhappiness, medication, lack of confidence in our society is anxiety and stress. I think anxiety and stress, as I've mentioned in previous videos, are brought on by the sort of lifestyle or cultural norm that we have allowed to happen to us or that we have done to ourselves. And I really think that both anxiety and stress would be relieved a lot by vanquishing the negativity from your life, by taking simple steps to eliminate your own negativity. So I have a day job. I don't know if all of you know that. I work in a hospital. And my work is one of the places that breeds the most negativity. A lot of really bad things happen where I work. And unfortunately, the way that we have learned to deal with that is through sort of complaining about everything and telling inappropriate jokes. And it's a coping mechanism, but it's not a coping mechanism that really helps anybody. I have found that even when I'm working really hard to maintain a positive attitude, to stay in the right mindset, and to be present in the moment, I find that I get sucked into this negativity that is brought on around me. And I don't blame anyone for it. I don't hold anyone accountable for it, because it's part of the social norm that we've lived in. This negativity also breeds separation between individuals, between groups, between cultures within our greater society. It's when one person hates something and they feel negative about it and they're very angry about it, and the other person maybe thinks it's a good thing or maybe not such a bad thing, then those two ideas have separated us into groups. And then if you have another group that loves the idea, you've got 3 groups. And then you've got another group that mega loathes the idea. And then you've got 4 groups. So this negativity is spreading us out into these groups, and everything that comes up that separates us further and further and further away makes it harder for us to remember that we're all neighbors and friends and brothers and sisters, and that we all live in the same place, and that we should be working together rather than fighting. Negativity also breeds greed. When your neighbor gets a new car and you're jealous that they got a new car, so you get angry and then you want a newer car or a fancier car or a better car, when in fact the kind of car you drive doesn't matter at all. Somebody yesterday used the term beater with a heater, which I liked a lot, because what it meant to me was you have a car that runs, that gets you to work, that gets you to the grocery store, that gets your kid to school. So these differences between us, between social class, between financial income, between where we live, between whether or not we believe in a God, or what political group we believe in, all of these things are negativity breeding separators. I think that if we tried really hard to see through the negativity that's separating us and try to own our own negativity, to admit when you're being negative, to accept when you're being negative, and to work towards eliminating that from your life, or at least lessening it. Maybe you can't eliminate it, maybe I can't eliminate it, but we can at least work to lessen it. That maybe some of the separation within our families, within our relationships, within our jobs can start to lessen, and we can start to be friends again. And we can stop thinking things and saying things that are hurtful to other people. Recently, a good friend of mine said, pointing out a problem without offering a solution is nothing more than sensationalism. You may have heard me say that before. You're going to hear me say it again because I love it. I am not here to simply point out problems. I'm here to offer solutions. As far as this negativity problem goes, I do have a couple ideas. The first two are socially based. The first one, and I know that we all struggle with this one, I have to step back and remind myself from time to time that this is the case. Your time is not more valuable than mine or anyone else's. My time is not more valuable than yours or anyone else's. Everyone's time is valuable to them because time is your life. The minutes, seconds, and hours that you spend breathing are your life. Therefore, your time is all you have, and so is mine. Recognizing that your time is no more valuable than anyone else's time will help your negativity. I promise you, I do this all the time. I step back, I remind myself that other people's time is just as valuable to them as mine is to me, and I move forward. The next is recognizing that you don't know what's going on. Maybe that car that just zoomed past you as you're screaming maniac as they drive by is on their way to the hospital because their wife is in the passenger seat in labor. Or maybe that screaming child at the other end of the restaurant that you're so upset about just found out that their dad has cancer or something like that. If we all can learn to understand that we don't know the other side of the story, we don't understand the perspective of these other people, we can start to check our own negativity and our own anger and frustration. Both of these are things that I do in my life nearly every day. And they both have helped me get to a place where I don't need to be angry all the time. I don't need to feel negative all the time. I don't need to bitch and scream as I'm driving down the road. The next two are personally based. And these are going to be a gratitude practice. You've heard me mention this before. You will hear me mention it a million times because I promise you my gratitude practices are one of the most powerful tools that I use in my own personal journey. If you can spend 5 to 10 minutes, 2 or 3 times a day, focusing on the things that you are grateful for, on your family, your home, your job, your car, your relationship with nature, your ability to hunt and fish and forage, or whatever you are grateful for in your life, if you can just slow down, take 5 or 10 minutes, focus on those things in whatever way makes the most sense to you, everything will be put into a whole new perspective for you, because you'll realize that by being grateful and by maintaining your gratitude, all the negativity seems much less important. The other is meditation. I'm going to harp on this because it's important. Everybody should be meditating in one way or another. A very simple one that I do that I think can help you in this exact situation: when you come into a moment where you're about to feel yourself get angry or frustrated, or you're going to start to make a decision that you know isn't the right decision, we're going to do what's called the one breath meditation. You're going to stop. You're going to close your eyes. You're going to inhale for a count of 5. You're going to hold it for a count of 5. And you're going to exhale for a count of 5. And that gives you a 15-second reset in which you can think about the other person's perspective, think about the other person's time, analyze the situation from your non-reactive mind. You don't need to foster negativity. You can be a source of optimism and positivity in this world. No one is perfect, but we can all work towards being better. If you found value in this video, please find a friend to share it with. If you like the things that I'm saying, or you don't like the things I'm saying, please leave us a comment on YouTube or Facebook and let us know what you think. Let us know what your perspective on this subject is. As always, thank you for your time. I know it's valuable to you. And I'll see you next time. I'm Blake with Northwinds Wilderness School. Take care.